Hi everyone, welcome. Nice to have you with us on such a glorious morning here in Mexico City. Thank you for joining us for this lovely press conference. It's quite intimate, which is very nice. We are going to open the floor a little bit later on for your questions, but in the meantime I would like you to welcome Salvador Duran. You can clap, it's fine. Yeah. We have Simon Evans, Bryan Sellers, and Sergio Jimenez on the end. Simon, let's start with you, because you were victorious in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh. We're here for round 2 in Mexico City. Just talk us through what you were anticipating before you sat down and before you raced in Saudi Arabia, and how it compares to how you were feeling once you got out of the car.
Yeah, heading into Saudi, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew, yeah, if I went there and I prepared well, put my best foot forward, I'd hopefully come away with a good result. And I did, which was a bonus. It was a really tough weekend, obviously, with the conditions. They did a really good job with the track, and it was really enjoyable to drive. But yeah, I was so involved in the race, I didn't even know it was the last lap till I come around the last corner and saw the checkered flag, so didn't really even get a chance, you know, for that last lap to build up on anything. But yeah, once I crossed that line, it was pretty special to win that first inaugural one.
Let's talk a little bit about the technicalities of the car. All the cars are equal, all production cars, production batteries. How does it handle? What's it like?
There's lots of things that are quite unique about the car. Obviously, the tyre that we're on, the weight of it, the delivery of power, obviously with the motor on the front and the rear, it's something that I'm not used to back home. I do a lot of V8 racing back home. So yeah, to get your head around that was quite different, but I suppose the nice thing was it was so different. I couldn't take any bad habits from, you know, the racing that I'm used to back home.
So you've kind of had to clear the slate, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, from the moment I drove the car first, you know, obviously with no sound, and just the way it drove, yeah, I just thought, okay, this is something totally new. So I just, yeah, tried to find a different driving style for it.
Whilst you were going around the track in Riyadh, were you aware of the epic battle that was going on behind you with Bryan and Sergio?
Yeah, I was completely aware. Yeah, because the track was dry, and I didn't really want to, you know, push too hard and make a mistake and go wide. So I was always conscious of that gap behind. But yeah, I did catch my mirror, Sergio's move. It was a brilliant move. So I was a little bit wary if he did get to me, that was another passing opportunity.
Sergio, let's talk about that. Welcome, by the way, Sergio.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your move and the car and what it enabled you to do in that overtake over Bryan. Bryan, I apologise that we're talking about this.
I'm tired of the move.
I know.
Well, it was a tough race. We have a very similar pace, three of us, and during the race I try to see where I can try to pass in some place, and that time I could pass Bryan. Bryan slipped a little bit in that time, and it was the time, and I said, or now or never, and was good. He was very clean also on the fight, and yeah, it was good.
Bryan, from your perspective, how did you see it? Because let's talk about the fact that the cars are equal. You know, you've all got the same equipment. How was it for you?
First, I think you give credit where credit's due. I mean, it was not an easy place to pass, as you know, evident. I sat behind Simon for what seemed like an eternity. So, you know, it was a very good move on his part, and it was I mean, it's a basic textbook pass. I mean. It kind of falls on, in the end, it kind of fell on me and what I was trying to do instead of maybe focusing on what he was doing. And so in that sector, I think Simon's rear tires had started to go off a little bit as the race went on. And there's a lot of heavy transitions in that sector. And I saw that he started to get a little bit crossed up one time. And I thought maybe this is my opportunity to try and set up a run on the exit of the corner. But, of course, what I didn't anticipate is Sergio's closing rate at that point in time. So I stayed left for a better angle out of the last corner. And, of course, as soon as I pulled left, Sergio went to throttle and was able to I mean, it looked easy when you watch it. Believe me, it wasn't an easy move. And
how many times have you watched it, Bryan? Be honest.
Well, it played on loop. in the hospitality.
Did it ruin your
so,
festive holiday, Brian?
Yeah. I had kind of gotten over it, and then you play it over and over again, and all the memories come back. But I mean, it's one of those things where you take, you know, for me, I thought I saw an opportunity to take a chance, maybe to have a shot at Simon, and Sergio saw the same thing. I'm pretty sure he was aware what I was doing, saw the opportunity open up, and you know, the timing was bad for me and right for him, and even better for Simon.
Brian, you've got a wealth of motor racing experience. Let's talk about this racing series in general. What do you think of it? What are your opinions, and how far do you think it can go?
I mean, I think first and foremost, one of the best things, and I think everybody up here will agree, is the locales and the locations that we get to travel to. I mean, we've all raced at different places around the world, but this is the only series that we can do personally, the four of us, that allows us to go to the biggest cities and race right in front of the biggest crowds. So I think that is one of the main attractions to the series, whether it's sponsors, team owners, or manufacturers. And I think what Jaguar's allowed us to do is to come in a single make series and have their different affiliates from different countries, you know, representative in these areas. And so I think it's a pretty unique opportunity, and it's pretty special to be a part of for the first time. And you know, it's tough because I think you travel, everyone comes different areas, different jet lag, but you are trying to learn to adapt to those and take it all in and actually enjoy the cities as well. And so we got to walk around Mexico City 2 nights ago and take in all the architecture, and it was pretty impressive. So for me, that's one of the greatest things about it.
Well, we all have the perfect guide for Mexico City because Salvador Duran, welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you with us. Let's talk about that. Do you think you're going to have some kind of home field advantage being from Mexico?
Obviously, knowing the track and being with the public, Mexican public, obviously give me an advantage. Well, yeah, I'm here to enjoy the race. I like the championship. I think the championship is first year is already doing so well. All the cars finishing the race, all the cars being very well. So I'm excited about it.
You had 2 seasons in Formula E, and now we're doing the Jaguar I-Pace Trophy. Are you excited about it? Have you managed to get in the car yet?
Yes, I want to drive. Yeah, I mean, listening to them, it is like a reminder of the first season of Formula E. You know, so many people are talking about the cars. We had that first season. There were like 7 or 8 different winners, which you don't see in any championship. And I think that's what people want to see. This kind of overtakes. I mean, this is actual racing. It doesn't matter the car, the speed, it's racing. So I think that's the best. And obviously going to cities like in or countries like Switzerland where it was banned, and now these opportunities that Formula E and Jaguar I-Pace eTROPHY are doing, I think it's excellent.
Sergio, let's talk about the car with you, because you all have a level playing field. How difficult is it to overtake? How difficult is it to get that extra 100th of a second on your opposition?
Well, the car is... Well, the car is very similar, all cars. We could see in the first race. And I think the great job that Jaguar did and M Sport did to do that. And I think the main thing now is they keep this like all season, because now we're running the cars. We drive differently. So I believe this is the main thing. Keep the cars very equal, that we can fight in the track and have a good race. As Salvador said, people want to see fights. People want to see cars close. And if it's a big car or a small car, people want to see good races, not boring races that we have sometimes in Formula 1 now. And
he said it. Okay, he said it.
It's true. I mean,
exactly.
Everybody is looking for other things. That's why Formula E is becoming bigger, and I believe our category and Jaguar I-Pace eTROPHY are going to be bigger because it's nice cars and similar cars, and we have a good races.
Simon, is there any pressure on you this weekend here in Mexico City because you were victorious in Riyadh? Got to keep the standards high, keep the bar high?
Yeah, it'd be nice to get another win to, rub it into my brother. But aside from that, I think this weekend's going to be a full reset because it's quite a different track layout. And though, yeah, I'd like to think that I could, grab another good result, I'd be a fool to underestimate every other driver because, the calibre is very high in the series. So, I'd absolutely love to, get another win, but it's definitely not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be a different race. We saw obviously in Saudi, the gap in the lap time between Sergio, Bryan and myself was so close, So I think it's the hardest thing about driving this car or getting the lap time out of it is actually just minimising the mistakes on your lap. Is that
why you were so deep in your zone concentration-wise? Yeah,
just trying to hit my marks and do that. So. If you eliminate mistakes, that's going to be the difference between potentially being on pole or being fifth or sixth.
It was nice seeing your dad over in Saudi Arabia and Mitch watching, glued literally to the TV screens. Have you and Mitch had a chance to talk about the track here? Have you got together yet and had a conversation about what could happen?
I managed to do track walk this morning with him, but he would keep walking off, so I had to keep going back and try to ask him questions. But where there's no Formula E curbs here this weekend, which I think will make it quite interesting. Especially for our car, it should make it quite easy to ride. There's a lot of places where you can run over the white line as well, where I think at other locations we won't be able to do that. And so how our car is going to react to hitting those curbs, I think it's going to be quite different to what his car will.
What did he get you for Christmas?
Oh, he got me some aftershave, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Probably from Duty Free. It's a bit of a cop-out.
Fair enough. What did you get him? What did he get you?
Oh, I actually got him some local rugby league team out, New Zealand Warriors. I got him some merchandise for that, so he can rep it when he's over here.
Nice, very good. Bryan, how has your preparation for this race been going? What have you been doing? Have you been out on the track yet? Have you been in a sim? Do you get the chance to do that?
Well, we don't actually. I can only speak for us, but we don't actually have access to a sim to prep. So most of our stuff is done kind of like we used to do before simulators were an option, and that would just be...
You have to work hard.
Yeah, you have to work hard. You have to, look at the track maps, watch as much video as you can, and kind of prepare. And then obviously, when we get here, walk around and see, you look for the things that you can't see on the track maps, and sometimes as well in the videos, the different bumps, the undulations in the roads, the cambers of the pavement, and so on. So, a lot of preparation goes into thinking, for me, went into thinking about the process of the weekend, what we did in Saudi, where we could improve for here, how you work the process a little bit better. It's all new for everybody here, the format of the weekend, what's important throughout the weekend. And, I think like Simon said, this is a little bit of a reset because it is so different from Saudi. And then you also touch a little bit on what Sergio said about, the driving styles are so different. And I think one of the interesting things is it'd be hard to kind of predict who will be strong here, because you look and say that Simon was really good in one sector at Saudi. I know Sergio was very good in one sector in Saudi, and I felt like I was very good in one sector, but they were never the same, right? So it just depends, I think, on how you like the car for that particular sector and whether it stacks up here or not.
Now, Saudi Arabia was very difficult, shall we say, for everyone because of the weather conditions that took place. Everything was put out of order. We had no chance for qualifying. Do you think that's going to make a massive difference on this race, Sergio? The fact that you can get in the cars, you can go and feel out the track, you can put some times down, and then you can come back and evaluate what you did on there and improve your race come the green light?
I think, yes. I think the practice show how the guys are. So it can change a little bit in the qualifying, of course, but I believe who is in the front will be there, change 1-2 places maximum. Even also because we have one set of tires, so we don't have new tires to take advantage or anything. We need to learn to manage the tires maximum as we can, because we have only one set. We start with this one new set and we go until the end of the race. So this is make big difference too. We need to understand the surface of the circuit here. We have a kind of half street circuit, half a track circuit. So we walk today morning and we have a 3-4 kind of surface. So we need to understand how we're going to work there. And our car is so heavy, so we need to see where we have more degradation of the tire or not.
Salvador, as our VIP driver this weekend, is there more pressure on you to be successful, to succeed, to beat the others?
Yeah, well, I always put that pressure on myself, so it's the same.
Nice.
As any situation.
Do you think your experience in Formula E with an electric racing vehicle is going to help you this weekend?
Yeah, of course. Apart from the turn 1, which the first year was a chicane, apart from that, the circuit is barely the same. I mean, also the stadium changed a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I haven't driven the car, but I'm used to electric racing, 2 years that I did, so I just want to jump in and see how I am.
Looking forward to the competition. Good luck, gentlemen.